Yes, so they say we're going to have a smooth transition. All they do is talk. It's all talk.
Well, apparently not. Apparently they're filing a lot of shit and doing sneaky things, and
everything they do is talk. We're going to have a smooth transition, and then they take 625 million acres and they
billion?
Essentially landmark it so you can't ever drill there again. Well, we're going to be
essentially
drilling soon.
We're going to be drilling soon.
Be opening up Anwar. We're going to be doing all sorts of things that nobody ever thought was even possible. But remember when
certainly not advisable.
And just to get off the subject, because I couldn't believe it when I heard it yesterday. I couldn't believe the size of it. I mean, you put down a map and put this up. It's just massive. And remember that that's worth probably, I mean, I've had estimates, $40 to $50 trillion. That's more than our national debt. Essentially, he's thrown it away. He's thrown it away.
No, he isn't. And it's exploratory drilling. They don't know if it's there or not. You're going to go punch holes in the seafloor and see if they come up with oil?
He's taken...
When there's going to be a glut this year anyways? When, like, global demand is collapsing? Why?
$50 trillion. So if we owe $35 trillion, he's taking...
Yeah, this is oil companies, though. We only get a fraction of that shit. And if it damages, like, over time, like if they have a big oil spill, maybe you can go fight them in the courts and win with these oil companies and get them to cover some of the damage and shit. But they'll claim it'll put them out of business and yada yada. And the taxpayer will end up covering for it. But most part, we just get a pittance of it. And then if it's long-term damage, like, you know, that in a slow roll, it lowers the, you know, the fish, it destroys the coral reefs, whatever. But it's long-term damage. It's almost impossible to bring a lawsuit against them.
$50 trillion of value and thrown it right out the window. We can't do that. Nope.
Well, how about $100 trillion worth of food? What's the cost of food off the coasts as far as our, like, fishing industry? Because I don't know anytime soon when we're going to be able to replace eating the way we can replace fossil fuels with solar.
But he can do that. One other thing he did yesterday, which was in many ways...
By the way, I am enjoying how Biden is needling him and making him very upset. This is fun.
It's worse. It's hard to believe it can be worse. He wants all gas heaters out of your homes and apartments. He wants them to be replaced by essentially electric heaters. I don't know.
Essentially electric heaters? What do I have? Is coal different?
I don't know what it is with electric. This guy loves electric. We're going to be ending the electric car mandate quickly, by the way.
Yeah, fuck Tesla.
This guy loves electric.
Oh, yeah. This has nothing to do with... He's not talking about like little gas. He means water heaters. They want to go from tank to tankless on new builds. They can still be gas.
And we don't have enough electricity, and then we have AI where we need more, and he wants everybody to have an electric heater instead of a gas heater. Gas heater is much less expensive. The heat is much better. It's a much better heat.
It is a much better heat. Yeah, if you're cooking, I would rather cook with gas than on an electric stove, and the same thing is true of your legs under a table when it's chilly in the apartment.
As the expression goes, you don't itch.
No. Is that how the expression goes? As the expression goes, you don't itch? What? Hold on, wait. I don't even... What? What?
It's a much better heat.
It is, sure. I'm with you there. 100%.
As the expression goes, you don't itch. Does anybody have a heater where you go and you're scratching? And that's what they want you to have. They don't want you.
That's what they want you to get infected from scratching yourself, and it's just like they want mosquito heating. That's what they want. They want you to have a rash and a itchy.
Have gas where you don't have the problems of the electric. And
sorry. This is what happens when somebody's never actually gone camping in their life, I think. Ever. Like, never been outside, never been, like, near an actual fire. Like, think about it. When's the last time you saw this motherfucker in front of a fireplace ever? even in a picture. Right? Who's that rich and doesn't at least have like one picture of them at a ski lodge or some shit? Right?
And the source is plentiful. They're much cheaper to operate. They're much better. They work much better. They look much better.
They do. They look so much better, you know, with that little tiny tickling, as opposed to the coil that buzzes like it's the fucking 40s.
60% of homes and apartments have gas heaters. He wants them all removed quickly.
No, he doesn't. It just means when you replace them with electric ones. So we don't have to use fossil fuels or burn them to heat these places.
These people are crazy. There's something wrong with them.
Or you don't know what you're talking about at all.
There's something wrong with them. They also want to go back, and they have already started that, to when you buy a faucet, no water comes out because they want to...
A faucet? Sorry. Wait. When you buy a what?
They have already started that, to when you buy a faucet, no water...
A faucet. That's one of those things on your sink that has 4 spouts? A faucet.
Comes out because they want to preserve, even in areas that have so much water you don't know what to do. It's called rain. Comes down from heaven.
I see. Is that where rain comes from? I just thought it came from clouds because I figured heaven's everywhere. It would have to be all around, but it comes from heaven. Is that angels crying? Okay. Jesus.
And they want to do no water comes out of the shower. It goes drip, drip, drip.
Are you sure you're not being tortured for information? Oh, you can't remember anything anyways. I don't know why they would bother.
So what happens? You're in the shower 10 times as long, you know?
Yeah, but if it's only dripping,
No water comes out of the faucet. You want to wash your hands. They want to go back to even stronger than what they have right now. As you know, I ended that policy. You can have all the water you want. Makes no difference. It comes weird, especially in certain areas. We have so much water, we don't know what to do with it.
Well, apparently, what you're going to do is flood the kitchen.
But these are all things they want.
They are. These are all.
Very little water to go into your dishwasher, almost none. And you know what people do? They just keep pressing, keep it going. They end up.
Is that what they do? They just keep running the dishwasher over and over again. Have you thought about detergent? Maybe, I don't know that. Maybe that's what you're missing. Maybe it's just doing it with water isn't cutting it, or maybe rinse your dish before you put it in because you're eating crusty, nasty shit. Who are these fucking morons? Is this what maggots are telling you? I think we might have figured out why you have these, what you believe is common sense and I would call common misconceptions, is that maybe you're hearing anecdotal stories, follow me on this, from fucking morons. Maybe the next time somebody tells you a story about how their dishwasher doesn't work and they keep pressing it, you might go, do you use detergent? And they'll go, use what? Detergent. No, that's got chemicals in it. I see. And what was on these plates? Mostly like, I do this oatmeal cheese dish. It'll stick to your ribs and everything else.
Using more water. Likewise, washing machines. They want in your washing machine to have very little water coming out of the washing machine. So when you wash...
For the record, can I just say this? I don't want any, as someone who does laundry in the house quite often, I don't want any water coming out of my washing machine. I would like it to stay inside the washing machine during the washing process and perhaps even drain.
Your clothing, you have to wash it 4 times instead of once.
No, you don't. Not anywhere. No one knows what the fuck you're talking about.
You end up using more water.
Well, then, where did this come from? I'd like to hear please, I wish the origin of this story. Can I please, I'd like to bring out Edna Mae. She's from Tennessee, and she's the one that told me about the washing machine. I do that all the time. I've been trying to get my clothes clean, and it is hard to get, brain and fecal material out of a shirt after a night like that. And now, I put it in the washing machine, and there ain't no water coming out. Is it plugged into the wall? Boy, are you stupid? Of course it's plugged in to the electricity. No, I mean to the water. Why would I do that?
We're a party of common sense.
Yeah, Big Step In. I know there are washing machines that use less water. It's an efficiency thing. They work just fine. That's my point, though. Fucking hell.
And things that I'm telling you now is really all about common sense. On
It is. Or common misconceptions.
January 20th, we'll turn the economy around very quickly.
Great. So all the job growth and all that kind of stuff, the stock market that's gone up, you're going to just turn it right around, head backwards. We're going to take it backwards, are we? Oh, thank you, Cosmic Rest.
Because right now when I think of our economy, I think about inflation. That's what we have. We have inflation, I believe.
We do have inflation. It's true.
At a level that we never had before.
Well, no, we had more of it. Now it's come down. I mean, it's going back up because they're expecting your tariffs to come in.
There's never been anything like it.
There has, lots of times.
And over the next 4 years, the United States is going to take off like a rocket ship.
Which one? You know what I mean? I would. There's a good portion of rocket ships do okay. There's a decent percentage that blow up on the landing pad. Which ship? Like Challenger, because that feels like what people are expecting from your economic plan.
But really, it's already doing it. If you take a look.
Yes, apparently nothing Biden has done has killed the economy, apparently.
Just last month, SoftBank announced the $200 billion. I think it'll be 200. He said
100.
100, and I said, how about making it 200?
He said between 100? Between 100 and 100? I'll have a Bloody Mary and a steak sandwich please.
And he sort of said yes, but let's say
he sort of said yes. That's good enough for me. $26 trillion economy. Some dude says sort of yes to $200 billion on some rando fucking investment scheme.
It's 100, but it might be 200, right, Brian?
Why would Brian know?
Dollars, United States creating more than 100,000 jobs. Hussein
or 50
just announced a tremendous investment that he's going to make, and that's money that's in the bank. He's going to come and do it, and he'll do a great job, and he'll build the best centers.
Put it on the Underhills? Yeah.
In the country, I guarantee, because I know the way he builds. Since my election, the stock market has set records. The S&P 500 index.
Since Biden's election, it's set records, you weirdo.
Has broken above 6,000 points for the first time ever. Never even close.
Thanks, NVIDIA.
In a single month.
Gee, it's almost like AI is entirely driving that sector now.
Small business optimism soared 41 points. It's not a 41. It went up 41 points.
Yeah, that's because all the Republicans were pretending everything was hell, and now they're like, he won, everything's fine.
And that's the largest in the 39-year history of.
That's because never before have Republicans intentionally shit-talked America for such a long stretch.
The group that does it, according to Gallup, the American people's confidence in the economy has just surged to the highest level in history. That's why I have a news conference like that. I take the greatest business leaders in the world. I say, hey, do you want to say you're going to invest the money? They're not looking for news conferences. They're saying, what am I doing here? They go in and they invest money. But it's good to know where the smartest business people in the world are investing, and they're investing in the United States.
Yeah, they kind of always have.
So we've done this all in 2 months.
Really? Pac-Man's having Cenk on yet tomorrow? What do you gotta flip to the right and suddenly everybody, maybe that's my problem. You know what my problem is? I'm too consistent and too good a guy. I gotta start doing some outlandish horse shit and flip-flopping on my ideals. That'll get my numbers up on my channel. Jesus.
Of not being there.
It's pathetic. Pac-Man, have me on, you asshole. For real. Same with Brian Tyler Cohen. Have me on. What the fuck's wrong with you? You're going to have Cenk on again before you have me on? What the hell?
You know, we haven't been there. And It's pretty amazing, and we think we're going to do some really great things, really great things. We're being
Like what?
respected again all over the world. The Panama Canal is a disgrace, what took place at the Panama Canal.
Yes, the Battle of the Panama Canal. It was so sad. He had a beautiful plan for getting out of the Panama Canal, and we were going to leave, but we were going to leave with grace and dignity and keep it at the same time.
Jimmy Carter gave it to them for $1, and they were supposed to treat us well. I thought it was a terrible thing to do.
It's kind of their land.
It was the most expensive structure ever built in the history of our country, relatively.
Relatively to the fact that it's not in our country?
It would be the equivalent of substantially over $1 trillion today.
Wow. You don't say. To cut through an entire continent?
We lost 38,000 people.
Where are they? We should have, I'm telling you, that's why we got to chip everybody.
Think of it, 38,000 people, they
Okay, 30, I'm thinking of it. Sure.
died from malaria, mosquitoes.
Yeah, malaria mosquitoes, those are the worst kind.
They were unable to stop the mosquitoes. They paid
Well, they tried. I mean, they're just hard to hit because they bob and weave.
people 5 times more to take the job. Many of those people died.
So it wasn't worth it, is what you're saying.
We gave it away for $1. But the deal was that, you know, they have to treat us fairly. They don't treat us fairly. They charge more for our ships than they charge for ships of other countries.
Because our ships are bigger?
They charge more for
Because our ships have higher insurance?
our Navy than they charge for navies of other countries.
That's because the other navies don't come through and our ships are way bigger than theirs.
They laugh at us because they think we're stupid.
Well, I think that's just you. I think, you know, you're hearing that on the phone, are you, every time you call them?
But we're not stupid anymore. So the Panama Canal is under discussion with them right now. They violated every aspect of the agreement, and they morally violated it also.
Yeah, so, and moral violations are the worst. I agree. Anybody who would do a moral violation of, yeah.
And they want our help because it's leaking and not in good repair.
It's leaking. Yeah, they're afraid that water will get into the earth.
And they want us to give $3 billion to help fix it. I said, well, why don't you get the money from China? Because China's basically taken it over. China's at both ends of the Panama Canal. China's running the Panama Canal. And they come to see this Biden, this guy who should never have been allowed even to run for president.
So you're against the infrastructure bill. Got it.
Of course, she shouldn't have either, because that never happened. It had to be 2 people, not 1. But they want $3 billion to fix the Panama Canal that's run by China and makes a lot of money, China.
Yeah, China makes a bunch of money, China.
One of the most profitable structures ever built, because you have ships lined up back to Florida, frankly, and they just keep going through. And the
Chinese ships?
numbers are staggering, $500,000 to $1 million a ship.
Uh-huh.
And they took it away from a...
Hold on. Wait. Hang the fuck on. $500,000 to $1 million a ship. Hold on. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Panama charges tariffs for boats and ships pass through canal fees based on the size, purpose of the vessel, and the charges range from as low as 50 cents to as high as $300,000. This is the Trump bitching about this. The officials, please be guided. If the principles, both moral and legal, and magnanimous gesture do not follow, U.S. Panama uses the Panama Canal more than any other country. It was transferred from the U.S. to Central American country in 1999 as a result of the 1979 treaty under Carter, which Trump said was a foolish decision. Okay. took issue with the fees charged using the Panama Canal, a vital shipping route on Saturday night, claiming that he will demand oversight in the waterway beginning back to the U.S. when he returns to office. If not changed, the fees being charged are ridiculous, especially knowing the extraordinary generosity is bestowed on Panama by the U.S. It's a complete ripoff. Charges tariffs for boats and ships. Okay, this would be, so let's see if this jumps in here. Maritime tariff list. Okay, cool. The list for the tolls and the thing. Let's see. Fixed tariff component per transit. Okay, go away. This is a very big, there we go. Regular vessel category with others, 15 grand. Regular vessel, 25,000 for passengers, general cargo. What's the highest? $1.50 for that guy, $35, $55. 3,200 for 65 feet to 24 meters, 65 to 80. Local tourism vessels, 2,500. Intra-maritime cluster, marine bunkering, ocean going, tariff per cent. Okay, blah, blah. Scrolling through here, 11,600 for a tug. That's expensive. Complete transit in Panamax locks for vessels, overall length from 213 meters, 700 feet to 107 feet in beam. Try regular tug services, 18,000, 2,000, ba-ba-de-ba. 70% of reservation tariff, change in transit reservation date over 7. Okay, so these are just the fees if you move your date when you're going through because they've got a queue. Just-in-time service for vessels transiting the Neo-Panamax lock. So if you got to do it in a hurry, it's 10 grand. Here, 100,000 last-minute transit reservations for super vessels. That's last minute. Last-minute transit reservation for Neo-Panamax vessels. So these would be if somebody just goes, we got to get through there immediately, which I would guess we don't have a military, like our military agreement would be able to go around that. Not that we don't have a Pacific and Atlantic fleet. Anyways, here's to a high impact disruption charge for if they block it for a while and nobody else can go through is the idea. Dead tow surcharge. So if your ship stops and sing, dead ship surcharge. That's fucking spooky. Dead ship surcharge Neo-Panamax. Mandatory. $250K if your ship, gets stuck and is run by zombies, I guess would be the whole thing. Okay, so that's the all right. If a ship has to go through last minute, a cargo ship, last minute needs to bully in front of everybody else, it's an extra big charge. And but everything short of that seems to be in like under $20,000 for the giant ships that go through there. It's just fucking dumb. This is stupid. Like he wants a break for his buddies who want to cut line in front of other people's shipping. He wants U.S. ships to be able to cut in front of other ships so they don't have to wait in line to go through it without having to pay that surcharge. That the U.S. ship should not have to do that. So his buddies who are in import-export world or his friends from overseas, he can bypass it.
We gave it to him for $1, but not going to happen. What they've done to us, they've charged us, they've overcharged our ships, overcharged our Navy. And then when they need repair money, they come to the United States to put it up. We get nothing. Those days are over. Working with the...
Also, again, I feel like these are just like guys who ship a lot of goods through there or have a lot of Chinese goods that are coming through the other direction. Want to pass. Or, it might be what Bezos was asking him for.
Republican majorities in Congress will cut taxes, slash regulations, raise wages, and boost incomes at a pace the world has not seen before.
Yeah, it'll happen so fast, the economy won't even be able to recover. And by the way, the wages will go up super fast at a rate you've never seen and also not be inflationary. It's like magic.
And certainly not from our country. We had a big...
Well, we've seen it in other countries, and it causes the collapse of their currency. So, yeah, that's why you haven't seen it here.
Chunk of it for the first 3 years prior to COVID coming in my administration. We had the greatest economy in history.
No, we didn't.
We cut the most regulations in the history of our country.
And again, and a couple of years later, we have COVID, and we've got trains crashing in Indiana.
I did that all in 4 years.
Or Ohio, both.
By 4 times more than any other president cut. We did that in 4 years. And we were
Also, no, you didn't. Like, again, bullshit number. Just seriously, just nonsense. Just made up.
just getting started. We'll impose new
Lying. He's just getting started lying.
tariffs so that the products on our stores will once again be stamped.
Oh, that's why. Because they're on the store. I've been looking on the shelves, and the shelves are empty. It's because they put them on the store. I'm sorry.
With those beautiful words, made in the USA.
That's 2 words and 3 letters. Made in America would be the 3 word. Never mind.
And we are not treated well, as you know, by Canada.
Aw.
Canada is subsidized to the tune of about $200 billion a year, plus other things.
No, we don't subsidize Canada $200 billion. What are you talking about? You mean he means like a trade deficit.
And they don't essentially have a military. They have a very small military. They rely on
Yeah, they don't really need them. I don't think the Eskimos are going to try and take back the whole chunk anytime soon.
our military.
To do what? Fight off polar bears and hockey pucks?
It's all fine, but, you know, they got to pay for that.
No, they don't. We're not a protection racket, fucko. What are you going to do? Let them be weak. Let them only have the military they can fucking afford. And then when the Russians come over the top after the permafrost goes, you'll be personally responsible for the fact that they had a running start at the United States. Great work, dum-dum.
It's very unfair. I have so many great friends. One of them is the great one, Wayne Gretzky. I said, run for prime minister. You'll win it'll take 2 seconds, but.
Yeah, but that's stupid. That's really stupid. Again, just having people run things just because they're famous is stupid. And again, it's a prime minister, so what the fuck?
He said, well, am I going to run for prime minister or governor? You tell me. I said, I don't know. Let's make it governor. I like it better. But no, something's going to have to be
This is the whole thing about like Canada being the 51st state or some horseshit.
done. Same thing with Mexico. We have a massive deficit with Mexico.
Yeah, because your buddies move their factories there.
And we help Mexico a lot. They're essentially run by the cartels.
Really? We help them be run by the cartels? Maybe we should stop helping.
And can't let that happen.
Well, apparently we are because we're helping it happen.
Mexico's really in trouble. A lot of
Well, now that you're in, I suppose, because what are you going to do, bomb them?
trouble. Very dangerous place. And we're going to be announcing at a future date pretty soon. We're going to
At a future date pretty soon. Put that in your calendar, kids.
change because we do most of the work there and it's ours. We're going to be changing sort of the opposite of Biden, where he's closing everything up, essentially getting rid of $50 to $60 trillion worth of assets. We're going to be changing the name of the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
Great. Call it whatever you want. It's the Gulf of Sparks, in case you were wondering. That was the original name. Feel free to at me. That's what I'm going to call it from now on. Because it's, it's kind of like marriage and civil union, It's important to fight over the name of it. Still a body of water? Yep. Still international? Yep. Still, we have 150 miles or whatever, 100 miles off the coast around Florida and Louisiana and Alabama. But Mexico has about a similar thing, and then it's international in the center of it, And so, but can we, now, who will own the Sparks Triangle is my question.
Which has a beautiful ring that covers a lot of territory. The Gulf of
Yes, North America, South America, Central America, the Gulf. How about this? We settle on Gulf of the Americas. Wouldn't that be lovely?
America. What a beautiful name. And it's appropriate. It's appropriate. And Mexico
Yeah, it is, because it would be inappropriate to call it anything else. Like anybody gives a shit.
has to stop allowing millions of people to pour into our country. They can
Yeah, they're not swimming, fuckhead. I'm just telling you, they're not coming across the Gulf.
stop them. And we're going to put very serious tariffs on Mexico and Canada, because Canada, they come through Canada too. And the drugs
No, they really don't. They overstay their visas.
that are coming through are at record numbers. Record numbers.
No, they're catching record numbers. You let record numbers through. We're stopping record numbers right now.
So we're going to make up for that by putting tariffs.
Otherwise, you wouldn't know, right? You wouldn't know unless you had a point of origin for the drugs that people are doing, and you could trace it chemically back to where you got it from. If some fentanyl's in Oklahoma, how do you know somebody didn't make it there and have a, you know, like a little pill mill someplace, and they're making their own fentanyl with the precursors that they got from, you know, all over the country, because they're all available in the United States, right? How do you know it's not a pill mill in Oklahoma that's cranking this shit out? You can't point of origin it. So the only way you know is if record numbers of it are being stopped.
In Mexico and Canada, substantial tariffs. And we want to get along with everybody, but you know they have to. It takes two to tango.
It does. I've heard that. I've often seen. I've watched three tango. It's not a pretty sight.